Your brain can't tell the difference between someone cutting you off in traffic and a lion trying to eat you. And that's why you almost lost it at a red light yesterday. Here's what's actually happening. Your caveman brain is running a 200,000-year-old threat detection system in a world full of emails, traffic jams, and passive-aggressive coworkers. It thinks disrespect is a survival threat. It thinks being late is life or death. And it floods your body with chemicals designed to help you fight a predator, when all you're fighting is a slow Wi-Fi connection. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. There's one pattern hidden in every angry moment you've ever had. And once you see it, you can literally interrupt the anger before it takes over. So if anger is supposed to protect us from danger, why does it show up when nothing dangerous is happening? Why do we explode over the smallest things? A text left unread, someone chewing too loud, your phone dying at 20%. And here's the weirder part. Why can some people stay calm in situations that make others lose their minds? What do they know that we don't? Turns out, there's something happening in your brain in the 2 seconds before you get angry that changes everything. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how to hack it. Let's go. Story of anger. Okay, imagine this. You're our ancestor, let's call him Grok, sitting by a fire 50,000 years ago. Another tribe member walks up and takes the meat you just spent 6 hours hunting. What happens in Grok brain? Instant rage. His amygdala, that almond-sized alarm system, screams threat. His body dumps adrenaline and cortisol into his bloodstream. His heart rate doubles. Blood rushes to his muscles. His vision narrows onto the thief. He's ready to fight. And here's the key, this response kept Grok alive. If he didn't feel anger, people would steal from him constantly. He'd lose status in his tribe. He'd starve. Anger was his bodyguard. Now fast forward to you, Tuesday morning, 9:47 a.m. You're in a meeting. You present an idea you've been working on for 3 weeks. Your manager cuts you off after 30 seconds and says, "Yeah, let's move on." Your brain does the exact same thing Grok did. Alarm. Threat detected. Adrenaline. Your face gets hot. Your jaw clenches. You want to flip the table. But here's the problem, there is no actual threat. You're not going to starve. You're not in physical danger. But your ancient brain doesn't know that. To your brain, being dismissed feels exactly like being attacked. This is the glitch. Your threat detection system can't tell the difference between a real threat and a social one. And that's why we get angry over things that, logically, don't matter. Alright, here's where it gets interesting. In the moments before you feel anger, your brain is making a split-second judgment call. And this is the pattern I mentioned, the one hiding in every angry moment. Your brain is asking, is this a threat? Is this unfair? Is this blocking me? And it's looking for 4 specific triggers. When it finds one, boom, anger. Let me show you how this plays out. I'm going to walk you through one person's terrible Tuesday, and I want you to count how many times these triggers stack up. Meet Sarah. It's 7:15 a.m. She wakes up late because her alarm didn't go off. She's rushing. She goes to make coffee, the coffee she bought specifically for herself, and her roommate drank the last of it. Strike 1, boundary violation. Her brain registers, someone took what's mine without asking. She's already irritated, but she pushes through. Gets in the car. Immediately hits traffic. She needs to be at work in 20 minutes, and she's stuck behind a guy going 10 under the speed limit. Strike 2, blocked goal. Her brain, I'm being prevented from getting where I need to go. She finally gets to work, 3 minutes late. Her boss doesn't say anything, but gives her a look, She sits down at her desk, opens her laptop, sees an email thread where her coworker is getting praised for a project Sarah did most of the work on. Strike 3, injustice. Her brain, this isn't fair. I did the work, they're getting the credit. Lunchtime. She's eating at her desk, trying to decompress. A colleague walks by and makes a comment, "Wow, rough morning? You look stressed." Said with a little smirk. Strike 4, perceived threat to status. Her brain, I'm being judged. I'm being made to look weak. By 2 p.m., Sarah is a walking powder keg. Someone asks her a simple question, and she snaps. And here's what makes it worse: Sarah had no idea this was even happening. She just thought she was having a bad day. But her brain was keeping score the whole time. See what happened? 4 triggers, stacking throughout the day. Each one added a layer of cortisol and adrenaline. By the afternoon, her nervous system was maxed out, and the smallest thing set her off. This is the pattern. Every time you feel anger, one or more of these 4 triggers just fired. Injustice, something feels unfair. Blocked goal, something's in your way. Boundary violation, someone crossed a line. Threat, your safety, status, or identity feels attacked. Once you know these, you can catch them in real time. What's actually happening in your body? Let me show you what's happening physically, because understanding this changes everything. The moment your brain detects one of those triggers, your amygdala sends an emergency broadcast. Within milliseconds, your heart rate spikes to pump blood to your muscles. Your breathing gets shallow and fast. Your hands might shake or clench into fists. Your face gets hot, blood rushes to your skin. Your pupils dilate to focus on the threat. And here's the big one: blood flow moves away from your prefrontal cortex. That last part is crucial. Your prefrontal cortex is the rational, thinking, problem-solving part of your brain. It's what makes you human. And in moments of anger, it goes offline. Blood rushes to your amygdala and your muscles instead. Your brain has basically decided, we don't have time to think right now. We need to act. This is why you can't think clearly when you're angry. This is why you say things you regret. This is why you make terrible decisions. Your thinking brain is literally not in the driver's seat anymore. But here's the hack: it takes about 6 seconds for that adrenaline spike to start coming down. 6 seconds for your prefrontal cortex to come back online. And that's your window. But here's the thing: not everyone experiences anger the same way. And understanding your anger style is crucial for making that 6-second window actually work. So before I show you the reset technique, you need to know something about yourself first. Because how you express anger reveals a hidden belief you might not even know you have. Anger types, and what they really mean. Now, not everyone expresses anger the same way. And how you express it actually reveals something deeper about what's going on underneath. There are 3 main types most people fall into. Type 1, the exploder. This is classic aggressive anger. Yelling, slamming doors, maybe throwing something. Anger turned outward, loud and obvious. What it really means: you feel powerless, and aggression is an attempt to regain control. Underneath the rage, there's usually fear or hurt. Type 2, the silent treatment. This is passive anger. You don't explode. You go quiet. You withdraw. Maybe you give sarcastic comments or forget to do things. Anger turned sideways. What it really means: you don't feel safe expressing anger directly. Maybe you learned as a kid that showing anger was dangerous or got you punished, so you found indirect ways. Type 3, the pressure cooker. You don't seem angry at all. You hold it in, stuff it down. But it builds and builds. Then one day, something tiny happens, and you completely lose it. Or it turns into chronic stress, anxiety, or depression. What it really means, you've learned to suppress anger, probably because you believe it's bad to be angry. But anger doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It just finds other ways out. And by the way, if you're thinking none of these sound like me, that probably means you're type 3. The pressure cooker is really good at convincing themselves they're fine. Here's the thing, none of these work long term. They either hurt you or hurt the people around you. But there's a fourth way that actually solves the problem. Type 4, assertive anger. This is anger that's acknowledged, felt, and expressed clearly without attacking. It sounds like, I feel angry when you interrupt me because it makes me feel like my thoughts don't matter. I need you to let me finish speaking. Notice what that does. It states the emotion, explains the trigger, and sets a boundary. No yelling. No silent treatment. Just honest, direct communication. This is the goal. And you can learn to do this even if you've been an exploder or silent treatment person your whole life. Alright, so how do you actually do this? How do you interrupt the anger response in real time? Here's the technique, the 6-second reset. Next time you feel anger rising, your chest tightens, your face gets hot, you want to say something harsh, try this. Step 1, pause for 6 seconds, don't react. Don't speak. Just pause. Breathe. Count to 6 slowly. This gives your adrenaline time to start coming down and your prefrontal cortex time to come back online. Step 2, name the trigger. Ask yourself, which trigger just fired? Is this injustice, a blocked goal, a boundary violation, or a threat? Just naming it takes power away from it. Step 3, question the threat. Ask, is this actually dangerous? Is my survival at risk? Or is my caveman brain overreacting to something my modern brain can handle? And here's the scary part, once your prefrontal cortex goes offline, you can't reason your way back. You can't just calm down through logic. Your body has to metabolize the adrenaline first. That's why telling an angry person to relax never works, their biology won't let them. Step 4, choose your response. Now that your thinking brain is back, you have options. You can express it assertively, you can let it go, or you can remove yourself from the situation. But you're choosing, not reacting. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You feel your chest tighten, your hands grip the wheel. Here's what you do. Pause, count to 6 while you breathe. Name it, okay, that's a blocked goal trigger, they're slowing me down. Question it, am I actually in danger? No. Will this matter in an hour? No. Choose, I can let this go and stay calm, or I can waste my energy yelling at someone who can't even hear me. See how that works? You just took back control. The anger didn't disappear, but you didn't let it control you either. This won't make anger disappear. That's not the goal. The goal is to create space between the trigger and your response. That space is where your power lives. Truth about anger. Here's what I need you to understand, anger is not your enemy. Look, I used to be a classic pressure cooker. I'd hold everything in, tell myself I was fine, and then I'd explode over something tiny like someone asking me what I wanted for dinner. And I had no idea why I was like that until I learned what I just showed you. Anger is information. It's your brain trying to tell you something important. Maybe a boundary needs to be set. Maybe something genuinely isn't fair and needs to change. Maybe you care deeply about something and you're watching it get disrespected. The problem isn't feeling angry. Anger is a normal, healthy human emotion. The problem is what we've been taught to do with it: either explode and hurt people, or suppress it and hurt ourselves. But there's a third option: listen to it, learn from it, and express it in a way that doesn't destroy you or the people around you. When you understand your anger, when you know the triggers, when you recognize the physical signs, when you create that 6-second pause, you take back control. You stop being ruled by a 200,000-year-old alarm system designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And honestly, that's freedom. You're not broken for feeling angry. You're human. And now you know how to work with your brain instead of against it. If this video helped you see anger differently, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who might need it. And drop a comment right now telling me, which anger type are you? Exploder, silent treatment, or pressure cooker? No judgment, just curiosity. I read every comment. Subscribe if you want more videos on understanding how your brain actually works, and I'll see you in the next video.